The stranger who stayed. The distress beacon pulsed weakly from the crash site, barely audible over the wind howling through the canyon. Marcus Chun adjusted his salvage scanner and frowned. 3 days hiking through the reaches, and this was his first real signal. Most distress beacons meant corpses and picked-over wrecks by the time anyone arrived. The reaches didn't forgive mistakes. The ship had carved a brutal scar across the red rocks, its hull split open like a seed pod. Marcus approached cautiously, checking for radiation, for fuel leaks, for any of the 1,000 things that made crash sites deadly. That's when he heard it. Crying. Small, hitching sobs that made his chest constrict. He found them in what remained of the cockpit. The mother, clearly Villani, with her elegant crystalline horns and opalescent skin, was dead, her body shielding a small figure curled beneath the shattered console. She'd used her last moments to protect her child. The girl looked maybe 4 in human years, though Marcus knew Villani aged differently. She had her mother's horns, tiny nubs just beginning to grow, and that same prismatic skin that shifted colors with emotion. Right now it flickered between gray and deep blue, grief and fear. Her enormous amber eyes locked onto him, and she made a sound, a musical trill of terror. "Hey, hey," Marcus said softly, raising his hands. "I'm not going to hurt you." She didn't speak standard. Of course she didn't. She pressed herself against her mother's body, small hands clutching cold fingers. Marcus's throat tightened. He should call it in. Colonial Services would send someone. Eventually. In 3, maybe 4 days. The water recycler was destroyed, the emergency supplies scattered. The girl would be dead long before help arrived. He made his decision. Marcus spent an hour gently coaxing her out, using emergency rations and the universal language of food. She finally crept forward, snatched the nutrient bar, and retreated. He pretended not to notice when she touched her mother's face one last time. They couldn't stay at the crash site. Marcus wrapped the mother in a thermal blanket while the girl watched silently, her colors flickering between blue and silver. Understanding and loss. "I'm sorry," he said, though she couldn't understand the words. "I'm so sorry." He fashioned a travois from debris and carburods, placed what supplies he could salvage on it, and started the 3-day trek back to his outpost. The girl followed. She didn't speak for 2 weeks. Marcus set her up in his quarters, giving her the bed while he took the floor. His outpost was small, a mining station he'd converted into a salvage depot, but it had power, water, and food synthesizers. It would do. He learned her rhythms. She woke screaming most nights, her skin flashing bright white with terror, and he'd come running, not touching. The Villani were touch-averse with strangers, but sitting nearby, humming old Earth songs until her colors settled. She ate only certain foods, refused anything with strong smells. She spent hours arranging rocks in complex patterns that looked like equations. She traced her mother's horns in the mirror, watching her own tiny ones with sad fascination. Marcus ordered every book on Villani culture the network could provide. He learned their customs, their language, their dietary needs. He discovered that Villani children needed specific mineral supplements. He synthesized them, hiding them in her food. On day 15, she spoke. "Kaya," she said, pointing at herself. Marcus's eyes stung. "Kaya. That's beautiful." He tapped his own chest. "Marcus. Mar. Cuz." She tilted her head, horns catching the light. Then, haltingly, in standard, "Mama gone." He wanted to lie, to soften it somehow. But her eyes were ancient with knowledge already. "Yes. Mama's gone. I'm sorry." Her colors rippled through the full spectrum. Blue, gray, silver. A deep purple he'd learned meant profound sadness. Then, quietly, "You stay." "I stay," Marcus promised. Colonial Services arrived on day 23. Officer Drend was efficient, professional, and unmoved by Marcus's protests. "She's a minor and an alien national. She needs to go to the Villani consulate on Kepler Station. They'll arrange repatriation. She just lost her mother, which is why she needs her own people." Drend's expression softened marginally. "Look, you did good. You saved her life. But you're not equipped to raise a Villani child." Different biology, different needs. I've been managing fine. For 3 weeks. What about schooling? Medical care? Cultural education? She deserves to know her heritage. Marcus looked at Kaya, who'd hidden behind his legs when the officers arrived, her small hands fisted in his pants. Her colors had gone completely gray. Drend was right. Marcus knew it. What could he offer her here, in this lonely outpost at the Edgoff nowhere? He was a failed miner turned salvager, barely making ends meet. She deserved better. Give me a minute, he said. He knelt before Kaya. She threw herself at him, and for the first time, she didn't flinch from touch. Her small arms wrapped around his neck with desperate strength. You promised, she said, I standard, her voice breaking. You promised stay. Marcus held her, this small alien child who'd become center of his world in 3 short weeks. I know, sweetness. I know. But, all gone, she whispered. Mama gone. Home gone. You go too. He was crying now, not caring who saw. I would never. Kaya, if I could keep you, I would. Buthiri right. You need your people. You need you. She pulled back, looking at him with those enormous eyes. Please. Please, no gone. The legal battle took 4 months. Marcus sold everything. The outpost, high equipment, his ship. He hired lawyers he couldn't afford and filled out more forms than he knew existed. He testified before committees, underwent psychological evaluations, took courses on Velani child development and culture. The Velani consulate fought him. A human, raising one of their children? Unprecedented. Inappropriate. What could possibly offer that her own people couldn't? Kaya testified too, in her halting standard and her native language. She drew pictures of Marcus reading to her, teaching her to identify minerals, holding her when it mares came. She showed them her rock patterns and explained, in precise mathematical terms that stunned the translators, how Marcus had helped her work through grief using the equations. The judge was human, thankfully. The child has bonded with Mr. Chun in the critical window following her trauma, she said. While unconventional, the psychological evidence suggests that removing her now would cause severe harm. Conditional custody granted, pending regular evaluations and cultural education requirements. Marcus wept in the courtroom. Kai climbed into his lap, her colors cycling through every shade of joy and relief. 5 years later, Marcus watched Kaya present her project at the Interspecies Youth Science Fair. She'd grown tall, her horns elegant and branching like her mother's. Her standard was perfect, her native Velani fluent from the tutors Marcus could finally afford. She spoke about both human and Velani mathematical concepts, bridging the 2 traditions. She thanked her teachers, her Velani mentors, and my dad, who taught me that family isn't about biology, it's about who stays. Someone asked if he ever regretted it. The debt, the struggle, raising a child alone across species lines. Marcus looked at his daughter, brilliant, kind, with her mother's horns and a human stubborn hope, and smiled. Not even once, he said. Not even once.